Here we are. We've done our coping, and now our next step is the column that supports the thing and the plate on top of the column. This says the column is a square tube, 5 by 5 by 3/8. All right. Now I'm going to need my center line again. Sorry I deleted that. Okay, get back on the layer I want to be on. All right. Let me temporarily make a center line using my friend the midpoint O-snap. Just go straight down a ways. And this is a 5 by 5, so O for offset. What is half of 5? It is 2.5. So 2.5 off to one side, off to the other side. And it's a 3/8 wall. So O for offset, 3/8, offset to the inside, offset to the inside. And those inner walls are hidden lines, so I will click on those and see if we've got a hidden line here somewhere. Oh, do we? Do we have a hidden line? Yeah, foundation pier. Oh, that's stupid. Oh well, I wasn't prepared. All right, fine. I will put these two lines, I'll select them, and I'll put them on the foundation pier layer, because that's a hidden line. That's stupid, though. Oh well. I should have made a hidden line for this particular detail. So there's the tube, but now we have a cap plate. It's 1 1/4 inches thick, and it's 11.035 side to side. Okay, so let's zoom in here. O for offset, 1 1/4 inches. Click, click. Okay. And what is half of 11.035? It is 5.5175. Okay. Offset, 5.5175. Click that line, that line. Now, the heck am I doing? I'm being stupid. Cancel. This number I was just fooling with is the flange width, not the plate. Bozo. The plate is 11 inches wide, so that's a nice even number. Geez. O for offset. Offset 5.5. Sorry. Okay. And there. And now this is going to be hard to see. Really hard to see. So I'm going to trim, and first I'll just trim this part. I'll use this for my cutter, and I'll trim the edges of the plate. Then I'm going to zoom in close because it is so easy to mess up where you have just a little teeny tiny difference. So I'm going to trim that. Now I'll go back here and zoom in on this corner real close and trim again. All right. And then I will trim out the tube, TR for trim. I'll use the plate for my cutter, and I will just use a right crossing window to select everybody and trim them out of inside the plate. And I will, well, let me see here. What do I want to do? Do I want to put in holes? They show holes. I forgot to look up what the standard gauge is for these holes. Let's just, I don't know. Let's make them 1 1/4 inches from the edge. Should we do that? Let's make them 1.5 inches from the edge. That might be wrong, but we'll just do that because he doesn't tell us what they should be. And then we will, ooh, watch this. I will just scale these two lines. Oh no, I can't do that. What will I do? I will scale them one at a time. So I'll scale this one, use the midpoint as the base point, and what will I do? I will maybe scale it 1.5 times. Look, makes it extend a little bit. Now I'll scale again this guy, use the midpoint for the base point, and a scale factor of 1.5. That makes him extend a little bit. Ew, but that's not good. That was bad because we've got to be clear up here. Okay, fine. I'll do my temporary extend line trick again. Bozo. So extend, select that line and that line as the boundary, and click on the lines I want to extend. Okay, and erase my temporary boundary line. And now I will select these two center lines together with a right crossing window and go up to my list and select a center line type. There. Now, what we don't have a top view finished up here. So let's see what we can do about that. First of all, we did make our flange of our beam be up there. So these lines up here are our beam flanges for our girder, but we need a line where the edge of the other beam sits. This beam is coped, you notice. It's coped. So I'm going to run a line up here, and now I will, let me see, trying to keep track of what is happening. So the outermost temporary line is the cope. All right. TR for trim, and I will use those copy lines as my cutter. Enter, and then I will tell it to trim back my beam flanges to that cope line. All right. Then I will trim again, and I will use the edges of my beam as my cutters. Enter, and I will trim that thing I just made. Okay. Now what? This guy is showing this top view as if he had cut, and it is a he in this case, as if he had cut a section halfway through the beam. I'm not sure I like that, but that is what he did. So that means we would trim the flanges there where they cross that thingy. Oh, also, remember that down here in the bottom, we cut back the end of the beam 1/2 inch back from the web to give assembly room. So let me make a temporary line from the, oh, this is so hard to do. We make a temporary line from the end of the beam where I cut it up here, and the end of the beam where I cut it from up here. That's just a temporary line. Now I can go in, and these horizontal edges will still be visible because there are edges for several pieces of steel here. The only thing we need to show is this end little short end thing. So I'm going to do a trim, and for the cutting edges I'm right crossing window, select the edges of the web here, enter, and now I will trim my temporary line so that now I just show the ends of the web. Hello. Now what? What else do we need? Oh, I suppose some sort of nice break line would be in order. Now, for break lines, you make your own. And they are just squiggly lines. I'm going to make one up in space here, because I don't want my O-snaps to snag things and pull it off track. So here's what I do. I make a slopey break line. Oh, had ortho on. There's my slopey break line. And making sure I do have the nearest O-snap on, because that's going to be handy here. Okay, there's my slopey break line. Now I want to make a little zigzag thing, just kind of informal. See that bow tie O-snap symbol? That's the nearest. So I'll click. It does not have to be exact. Just, I don't like that right now. Just some sort of zigzag thing. And then TR for trim. Trim that out. There is my break line. And see how he's got one? Every place where a beam or a column or anything was broken, he put that there. So what I do, you may want to do something different, is I just copy this thing every place I want a break line, and then I trim. And of course we will want to, now you probably don't want them all parallel. That looks kind of too something or other. I will copy this guy over here and then rotate it. So R for rotate, select objects, some point in the middle, and I will just rotate it 90 degrees so that now I can copy this break line, and just snap it onto my, now sometimes it's too long, sometimes it's too short. You can see that what you need to do now is extend and trim and clean that up a little bit. Is there anything else we need? I think we've got it. We don't need any dimensioning or text, so that's that. These webs are solid lines, not hidden lines, because this guy cut a section halfway through. So I guess that's it. You would now want to go in here and clean up, extend. I would use everything as my extension thing and just extend everybody or trim everybody as need be until we get it all cleaned up like this. And sometimes you need to grab these and make them longer, so on and so forth. So there is, and this one is way too long. So there is your beam connection. Let me know if you have questions.